morning, Westeros!
And welcome to our Morning Throners podcast. I'm Nelson.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Kyle, and we're your Morning Throners.
And welcome back to another episode of your favorite Song by Fire podcast. We are your Morning Throners, and we got Bran 1 on deck. Gentlemen, how we doing?
Yeah, man. I like this one. This
All right.
is the easy best one in this book, right? Like I feel like that's
easily
kind of
best read.
yeah.
10-pager. 10-page alert. 10-page
Oh,
alert.
okay.
Nice and short. Told
Okay.
you the dance ones get short, man. Not again. They're not. This is short for dance, but
Okay. I feel you. I feel what you're
Perfect
putting
length,
down there. But
yeah.
Kyle, you did say I just finished editing this one. You did say that in the Feast of Crows wrap up that if you got to choose who was the first chapter of Dance of Dragons, you would have chose Bran. Partly just because we hadn't seen him in so long. So
yeah, so maybe that's part of it. I was excited to get back on the Bran. I obviously didn't get it perfect, but I felt a little good that Bran ran into another warg already, right? Like he ran into our dude. I wasn't really expecting that.
Yep.
So that was kind of fun. But like I had said John is kind of, I guess, as the full what was going on there, but I didn't think yet either. So I still will hold that value, that place there. But
What are you saying there?
when we did our John chapter, yeah, I thought he was going to run into John as the wolf
Gotcha.
at some point. I still think that could happen, but I would have think it would be cooler if it was his first kind of encounter. You know what I'm saying? Like the first encounter's already over. Like
You're saying John and Ghost and Bran and Summer meet up.
yeah, or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird that he mentions there is a part where he's like warg, and they realize that they're both wargs, but then nothing really comes of it at all.
We didn't get to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's cool. And then obviously all the cold hand stuff is really cool too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because we really don't know much about him at all. He showed up at the end of a Sam chapter. We saw him for a second, and then I think this is really the next time we see him on page.
And then he picks up. Does he even pick up Bran? Do we see him pick up Bran?
No, the last we see is Bran on the other side of the
Going
wall.
through the door.
Sam comes up through, but I don't think there's a chapter with Sam where he's just hanging out with cold hands the whole chapter. I think it's literally
No.
a page at the end of the one Sam, and then the next time we see Sam is he's in the Bran chapter popping up on the other side.
Well,
of the
that's
wall.
what I was just saying. And it's Sam tells him about him as well.
Yeah.
So that's kind of
Yeah, we learn a little bit of what Sam has learned in the meantime, but
that's
Yeah.
my point. Yeah.
Good chapter. I enjoyed it.
timeline.
Doesn't matter.
Shut the fuck up, Jeff. Be more excited. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm actually excited to reread Bran just because I definitely read it too tired last time. To now pick up on the nuances maybe of chapters.
You mean overall?
I've only read these chapters once and it was years ago.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, you just weren't reading them that close. Yeah.
So for me to refresh all of these chapters is better for me. The second read
Cool.
Yeah.
will be better for me.
The things I think are important in this timeline, they mention one thing in the chapter is 10 days since they ran out of food. They brought food from south of the wall. They've been out of it for 10 days. So they've been north for at least 10 days. The timeline I've been going off of says it's been a month since the last Bran chapter. A little over that, a month and a week probably. That's how long they've been north of the wall.
It's a lot of food that they've been carrying around.
You got to think it makes sense, right? So think about this. The other thing that we learned timeline-wise is it's after Varamir dies, right? I guess we don't know that for sure. He could just be warging into One Eye at the time, but it seems like it's after Varamir dies.
True.
He's probably stuck in One Eye because he's dead.
Yeah, to me, that's where it felt as well.
So I think what the timeline has is this is 1 week after the prologue, which lines up with that. But to me, if you just think about when Bran went through the wall, that was before the wildlings attacked the wall, right? Sam hadn't even got back. They hadn't done the election for Jon Snow. Again, all that's after the wildlings attack. But you got to think Sam's probably coming through, or Bran's probably coming through the wall about the time of the wildling attacking.
Yeah, that's what I would think. It was similar timing to that.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Varamir was probably on the run for a while after that, right? We learned that him and a big group of people were walking away, going different directions. So
yeah, and I felt like the way it was set up, he would be dead, right? I feel like that's kind of implied.
what?
Varamir, that this is after the fact.
Yeah. I don't know what would it really imply that, but I get the same feeling, even though
Well, I mean,
looking at the actual evidence, I don't see
the vibe of the prologue implies that it's before the story.
Yes.
Right. That's kind of, there we go.
Wait, chapter 1?
No, this is prologue. So if it was called prologue, right? So that tells you that it's a lead up to the story. So that's, I guess, part of why it's implied. And then for him to match and stuff.
The last thing on the timeline, the new timeline piece that I'm gonna start doing in this one is because I think people argue that Dance of Dragons doesn't actually follow that pattern strictly, Kyle. That you can't assume that a chapter that takes place earlier in the book actually takes place earlier time.
That's kind of what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
If the chapters aren't in order, don't talk to me.
I think for the most part they are in order, but you can't assume that's always the case. So I know something that fans do starting in Dance of Dragons, and I'm going to start doing myself, is paying attention to the moon, right? Because you can kind of tell.
Only good for 28 days.
But that can take. If a character sees a full moon and then another character sees a full moon, you know it's either on the same day or a month apart.
How do you know what month it is? Or it could be 2 months apart. To your point, it could be 4 months apart. It could be 5 months apart.
Yeah, but you know it's a multiple of months.
It could be 30 months apart. There's no proof to what moon it was.
Well, you can use other context clues to narrow down some of those other answers.
No.
Yeah.
Stupid.
So what we got here is a crescent moon today in this chapter. It mentions it twice. So just mentioning it. We'll see the next time a moon comes up. I've been keeping an eye out so far. I don't think it's been mentioned in any of the earlier chapters.
Was it waxing or waning? That matters a ton.
The first silver of a crescent moon came peeking through the clouds.
You just can't give me crescent and tell me that that's going to help you.
It's only half the
waxing
battle,
or
yeah.
waning. Come on.
Technically, we do know more. It's coming out right after sunset. So I don't know which one's which, but the waxing comes out before. If you would shut up, yeah, you don't know shit about space, you dumb fuck.
I took Stars and Galaxy Physics. You did.
I don't know which one's which, but I know one, let's say waxing. Waxing comes out right after sunset. The other one comes out, you see it right before dawn. That's just how the moon works.
So there's just no moon. There's just no moon that night till dawn.
Yeah, when it's a very thin sliver, it's only up in the sky for an hour or so. The thinner, the less time it's up. That's just how the moon works.
Waxing is shortly after sunset.
Thank you.
Okay, so tell us what it is.
Good talk, Jeff.
We didn't get to the waning yet.
It's shortly after sunset, so it's waxing.
Waning is just before sunrise, yeah.
So it's waxing. What'd you say, Kyle? The waxing waning always confuses me.
I said waning.
Wax on, wane off.
Yeah, which waning means it's going away, exactly. Waning is just before sunrise.
Wow, you know nothing of space, Nelson. Idiot.
Well, no, I hate to defend Nelson, but I thought he was just saying that it gets him confused.
I know waxing means getting bigger and waning means getting small. I just don't know how it relates to the dawn and dusk side, which I'm sure I could sit down and think
waning
about.
Waning is dawn, sunrise.
Yeah, it's all just physics, but yeah, exactly.
Well, it's just where it is in the sky. It's like the whole point of it.
But there you go. Now we know it's what. Well, I should actually add this to my notes. What we say it was, Kyle? I forgot already. Waxing?
If you said it was waxing, then yeah. If it was just after sunset, yes.
Yep.
Fuck
I figured this out the hard way because I'm a dumbass, and I was like, I learned that on a really clear night, if you're in a place that has no light pollution, the reflection of the light off the Earth onto the moon can actually like light up the moon. They call it moon. They call it moon glow. Hey all, editing Nelson here. I'm an idiot. It's not called moon glow. It's called Earth shine. I say it a few more times here. Every time I say moon glow, what I really mean is Earth shine. Just correcting myself because I do like the moon, and it bugs me that I got this wrong. So, yep, back to the podcast. And I wanted to see what a new moon looked like with a lot of moon glow, right? So if there was no actual light hitting the sun, but all moon glow. Turns out it's really hard to see the moon then because the moon is out during new moon. The moon's out when the sun is out. That's the whole point. They're on the same side of the Earth, so the sun that's hitting the moon is on the opposite side because the moon and the sun are on the same side of the Earth. So you can't see new moon because there is no new moon at nighttime.
Moon's cool.
Moon's during the daytime. Most people, I don't think, know that. They think the new moon is like a black moon at nighttime. It just means there isn't a moon at nighttime. I don't think most people know that. Right, Kyle?
Welcome back to another episode of your...
I love moons.
Weird space podcast.
I love the moon, I guess. Yeah, sorry.
Too bad we've never been there.
We're going back. It keeps getting delayed, though. Like GTA 6. All right, moving on. Let's get into it.
Like when's the winter?
Like when's winter, yeah.
Ooh.
All right, so Bran's wondering just how much further they have to travel. It's been a while. Hodor's been carrying him. Sometimes he gets to play with his sword. It's cold as shit.
It's fucking cold. Yeah.
Recap on who's our full crew we got right now.
Jojen, Mira, Cold Hands, Elk, Hodor, the Wolf.
Yep,
Summer, right? And Bran.
And Bran. Yep.
And it's just quiet. This trip's been a quiet one. They used to tell a bunch of stories and have some chatter.
Yep.
Not no more. Not up here. It's too cold to talk.
Yeah.
And also Cold Hands is weird. And the woods are weird. The woods, it's just weird up here. Weird vibes.
Yeah. Bran's been riding in a basket on Hodor's back, and the other two, Mira and Jojen, have been riding shotgun on the elk behind Cold Hands.
Side saddle.
Which is like, dang, they're right up on this guy. They've been together a month. Do you think they'd be getting... I get it's partly for like the point of like we're writing a story. We don't want the characters to get suspicious and start asking revealing questions about Cold Hands until there's going to be a chapter about it. But yeah, it's a month's gone by.
I mean, have some eyeballs. Like
you didn't realize this guy's...
His hands
were
hard
and black.
Black.
Just hit him today. They got black hands. He never ate with them. He never drank anything. He didn't sleep. He had a scarf on his face the whole time.
Can't see his breath.
Like, come on.
Yeah. It's just a writing thing.
Figure it out.
You need it in a chapter, so you can't have, unless we want a chapter the moment they meet him, which I think is.
Or it should have just been like 12 days later. Like, they didn't need to have 10 days worth of food. Like, they've been on the run for a long time.
We don't know how many days worth of food they have. We know they haven't had food in 10 days.
I'm saying you could have shortened the time that they've been together.
Yeah, and to be fair, we don't know that exact time, so it's hard to.
I think
say.
it's more fun that they're further north of the wall, though, Jeff. If that makes sense, right? Like these guys are pushing some crazy boundaries here.
I don't really care that they didn't figure it out that the guy's not breathing.
Yeah, well, that's parts you have to suspend disbelief, right? That's for the story, exactly.
Yeah,
it's a mechanic.
I'm not.
Yeah, you know that. Yep.
You mentioned this, Jeff. Hodor's got his sword.
Yeah.
From
the crypts.
From the crypts, exactly.
I think it straight said that.
Yeah.
Yep. But interesting, they don't call attention to this part. It's an iron sword, not a steel sword. So it's like one of the older, or maybe all the swords they put down there are iron because it's more of like a ceremonial thing than like an actual use case thing anyway. But I think it's a rusted iron sword.
Yeah.
I think it is an old one.
Would it do well? An iron sword?
I'm sure it would do okay against some.
Is it not hardened steel though? Like,
yeah, it's probably more brittle, right?
Yeah.
I don't know metal like that, but yeah.
I just know from like Forged in Fire that like you forge the iron, right? Like,
yeah.
Well, steel's an alloy of iron, right? You mix other things in with iron to get steel. I think. I'm not a metal expert, like I'm a space expert.
I don't either.
Not that I'm an expert on space, but
you're not an expert on it.
I'm not a hobbyist on metals like I am on space.
You're the quote jack of all, master of none.
Yeah.
But you're not even.
I think
you're like not even close.
I'm a master of all.
No.
Moving on.
Cold hands is on the elk. Mira's been cuddling Jojin. Looks weak as shit.
Yeah, Jojin's not doing good.
Even Bran's like, this dude he looks worse than me. And I'm fucking not doing so hot. Yeah.
And I can't even feel my toes.
Ew.
Summer was trailing behind, still healing from the arrow she took at. Is Summer a guy?
I think all the wolves match the gender of their owners.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is that bad of me to assume gender of the wolf?
No, I think Summer is kind of a feminine. We knew a girl in college named Summer.
Yeah.
So I think it's more of a feminine name. So I think I did that too. I think I actually wrote she in the notes one time when talking about Summer. I'm like, no, don't do that.
Does Bran ever use a gender of Summer?
I'm sure we hear it at some point. I know when we find the direwolf pups, I think it's like 3 boys.
I mean,
John's whole argument is that it's like they matched your house, 3 boys, 2 girls, or whatever. Yeah.
I didn't care, so I don't know.
How does Summer pee? I really do care.
So we'll get to that later. It actually says Summer lifts away. It's mentioned in this chapter.
I was gonna say, does Bran get fucked by One Eye later on? Like, what's his name? Six Skins like to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. That other sense.
So when thinking about Hodor here, he mentions that Bran's kind of given a recap of like how this journey has been in general. It's not like right now. It's like, oh, this is just how things have been. And he says from time to time he would like slip into Hodor again. And Hodor would like thrash and shake his head. It wasn't as bad as the first time at Queen's Crown, but he could tell like basically Hodor didn't like it.
Yeah, this stuff was really funny after the whole first Abomination chapter, right? Like Bran's doing all this horrible stuff according to the guy that like is like teaching people how to warg. Like he's doing breaking every rule essentially.
Do you remember the 3 rules? He called out 3 specifically.
Well, one was don't fly, right? Is that?
No, that Hagen in general had told Hagen was Varamir's teacher. He had had said like don't take birds because if you take a bird you'll get lost in the sky and then never want to come back.
Yeah, that was why.
So
I thought
that wasn't
was
mentioned,
one.
but that wasn't one of his like official 3 rules.
Well, the one of them was don't eat humans, right?
Don't eat humans. Yeah.
Yeah. Another one was don't go into humans.
Yeah, don't warg into humans. That was the worst one. Is don't go into
the
humans.
The third one's I don't remember. It was it. I mean, the only thing I could think of is like don't stay too long.
Bran hasn't done this one yet that we know of, at least.
Eat? Is it something to do with eating again?
No. Don't mate as a wolf. Yeah.
And Varamir was all up in that on both sides of the coin.
Yeah, that was my joke earlier. That was what I was implying.
Exactly. Yep. And that was one of the abominations.
Yeah, just going through some abominations. And he does like to slip in the Summer to reap the wolf benefits. Better sight, better smell.
Well, he's kind of saying the same thing like Varamir was, that wolves are just like the best fit. Like you can like Varamir was even saying like with his shadow cat or with the bear, he kind of like had to work to do what he was doing there. But
dogs are just cool with it. They're man's best
you
friend.
just like are almost like one with the dog. He even said, I think Baromir was actually making a distinction even between wolves and dogs. I forget which one he said was easier.
I think he said dogs were easier.
Dogs
honestly.
were easier. I think you're
yeah,
right.
dogs were a perfect glove. Like a wolf, I think, was something
A little wild.
like would
probably.
fight you a little bit, but like then you kind of have a pack type of deal with it.
Yeah, but everything else was more like you're taking control of it, like more forcefully. It seemed like. So I think, and that's kind of what Bran's saying here is like he liked being in Hodor because he was
Strong and could
the
walk.
kid can't. You understand, right? Because the kid can't walk. He doesn't know the rules. Again, it feels wrong to us.
I do understand. I think it's pretty weird because like
He should know. Yeah.
you could get into summer, like especially if Hodor's your friend and he doesn't like it. Like you could, even if he's more comfortable, he doesn't like it, which is
He's thrashing and he's acknowledging that he's thrashing. Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows that it's
like just go into your wolf. It's fine. You got 4 legs.
No, I 100% agree it's wrong. I think I just can easily see how Bran can convince himself it's not that bad. Like the kid can't walk.
I
and
do see why
okay.
he'd want to, because he wants to feel strong and he wants to walk like a human and you know.
Yeah, and that's not saying Bran's a bad kid. That's just like, again, your brain convinces you
It's
of
a
stuff
bad decision.
that benefits you, right? And like,
He's a
Yeah,
child.
yeah, it's fucked up to think about. but,
How old
like,
is he? 12? 13?
I think
Not
he's
even?
I
younger.
think he's like 10 now.
Yeah. So I mean, he's a child.
He's young. I can only imagine. What's that, like 2nd grade?
He was 7 at the beginning of the book, so like 9 now, maybe.
He's like a fucking 3rd grader, 2nd grader.
Yep. But he likes Summer. Summer likes the elk. A little too much, maybe.
No. Someone wants
You
to eat
gotta-
that elk. That's just good food.
You got to keep telling it, yeah. Well, that's the other like part of the reason why he likes being summer, right? Is because he can actually hunt prey. He can eat. It's probably a little warmer as well.
I think he actually said it's colder.
No,
I thought he said he still has a chill.
not colder, but he said even with the fur, you could still feel the cold.
Yeah, so it's got to be warmer. Like I mean, everything about it has to be better than fucking sitting on Hodor's back, freezing your ass off, right?
Yeah.
Not a fun track, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I don't want any parts of this.
Yeah. So the cool thing about one of the cool things about Cold Hands.
I did forget something about the party. There's a shitload of ravens.
That's what I was gonna say. The cool thing about Cold Hands is he has this flock of ravens. It seems about
Lots of
Cold Hands, not the party necessarily, too, right? Because like
yeah, they follow.
there's a part where they start talking shit on Cold Hands. Once Cold Hands leaves, we'll get to it in a minute. And I'm like, you guys probably should not be saying this if there's all these ravens around, especially after they like whisper to him and he can like
Yeah.
understand them.
They quark
Yeah,
at him.
he knows they're his scouts. Yeah.
There's a part where Bran like looks around to make sure there's no ravens around. So Bran seems to be, he never calls it out directly, but he seems to be aware of something, that there's a connection there.
Well, it's pretty strange how they just follow him. Like they report back, they chill with him at night. Like
Yeah.
it's not like a random raven or two; it's a horde of them.
And Bran calls out later, like, "Hey, the guys you killed, you and the ravens killed them. Like that's why all their eyes were gone and all their, again, jumping ahead a little bit, but like their cheeks are.
You guys actually know what a group of ravens was called?
a murder. They mentioned a few times in this one. I think.
That's crows.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Conclave,
Nope.
a concordance.
Nope.
I don't know.
In unkindness.
I feel like I did know that. I should have known that.
I've definitely dropped that knowledge on you. I'm
Yeah.
actually a raven expert.
Okay. So yeah, there's always a bunch of ravens out by, and some of them ride on the antlers of the elk, which is just kind of cool. Cool
Elk needs a
imagery.
name. Elk's not good enough.
Yeah,
We're
we
gonna
got.
call him Sven.
I mean, what's his face called his dog? Dog Maribald.
Yeah, that's a classic name.
Yeah, but elk's not good enough.
No.
It's not even named elk. It's just the elk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Bran put 2 and 2 together that these ravens are scouting for Cold Hands. But boom, Cold Hands hops off the elk and he starts looking around.
Yeah, and the way that's written, it says like some of them would actually fly and like murmur in his ear, and it seemed to Bran that he like understood what had happened. And then like the way that's written, that sentence is like it actually happened right now. And then he jumped down off his elk. So it seemed like I think like the reason he gets down and this whole like he leaves right now is because a raven like whispered in his ear and he understood what it was saying.
I mean, I did assume it was the ravens, right? Because it was like, how else would he know they were being trailed?
Well, Bran and them knew at least that they were getting trailed by wolves, but I guess that's because they're howling and Bran.
Well, and he's like, no, it's men, right? Like he knew they're
Yeah.
getting trailed. Like they're his eyes and ears. They scout for him and whisper to him of dangers ahead and behind. As now, the elk stopped suddenly, and the ranger vaulted lightly from his back to land in knee-deep snow.
Yeah, the as now.
As now, 100%. Yeah, he's like, as of right now.
Also, crazy to think about now that you just read that line. We've been getting a lot of snow here on the East Coast recently, like more than we have at least in the past couple of years I can remember.
Absolutely.
walking through knee-deep snow. And again, they're on the elk, but Hodor's not.
Yeah, brutal.
And again, Hodor might be walking in the elk's trail, but still, bro, like...
No, he says his legs are caked in snow at some point. He's
That's
like
what I'm
up to
saying.
the
Even if
knee.
you're walking in
that's
the
brutal.
elk's trail, that's still a lot of like you plowing your own way. I don't think they got snowshoes for my boy. Like, and he's got Bran on his back. Like, he's sinking to the bottom.
Bran's taking over his brain.
I don't think they have any gear. They're not prepared for this trek.
Yeah, Hodor's not. Definitely
Yeah.
not.
All right. Cold Hands hops off the elk. We're there.
Yep.
Yep.
Summer don't like this guy.
At first, they think it's wolves.
Well, everybody but Cold Hands, yeah.
Well, they all know that there have been wolves following them, which is kind of cool. In hindsight, it's probably Varamir's wolves, right?
Yeah, it has to.
Yep. But he's like, no, that's not what I'm going after. He's like, they'll keep their distance, the wolves will, but men. Basically, he says, I'm going after men.
They're our enemy.
Yeah.
And Mir's like, all right, cool, I'll go with you. And he's like, nope, you need to protect the boy.
Yep.
Get him across the frozen lake, follow it north, take the coast to the fishing village. I'll meet you there.
Yep.
And Mir's like, no. Jojen's like, listen to the guy. We need to go.
Jojen being Jojen, just weird and cryptic, kind of.
How about this? Jojen not dreaming as much up north?
Not doing shit. Jojen's just dying up north. Starving and being cold.
Yeah.
Shivering and starving. Like, I don't know. He is doing worse than the rest of it. Like, it seems like he's doing, like, noticeably
doing
worse
well
than
worse.
that. Like,
Way
every time they
worse.
mention him, it's like, he's so weak and he's not in good shape.
Yeah. So they start going. They don't get too far away. And then Mir's like, what the fuck's up with this Cold Hands guy? It only took her a month to figure out that.
Yeah, this dude's kind of
guy's
weird.
So what I was thinking is maybe actually he hasn't left them. They haven't been alone. There hasn't been a time to like have like a gossip behind his back.
I feel like this is probably something that happens not kind of frequently, but like at least
I don't know.
This is not the first time I think he's
I
gone
wouldn't be
off to
surprised
fight
if he
some
like
stuff.
does the perimeter, but also he doesn't have to scout. He's got the Ravens scouting for him. I kind of agree with you, Nelson, that he has been far away.
And if they've had food up until 10 days ago, then you don't need to go scouting for food, right? Like,
Well, how do you know that they had food up until 10 days
at some
ago?
point
They
here,
could
they're
have
like,
been-
we ran out of
it
food
is
10 days
for-
ago.
Yes, but they could have been hunting and
It
collecting.
says the
But
food
it's
we
been-
brought
it's
from
been-
the south.
It's been 10
Okay,
days since they
okay.
ran out of their stores and 3 days since Mira caught a fish.
Okay.
You're right. They were, yes. He says they were catching fish after then. Yep.
Yep. But she's like, who's he going to fight? Like, is it wildlings? Like, why wouldn't he tell us? And why are we walking in circles? I swear we crossed the stream already. Like, she's just very unsure, which I think is Mira's personality. I feel like she was like that even with Jojen and Bran early on.
So you think she's just being,
I think she
Cautious.
was a questioner.
but you don't think they're actually going in circles?
It's hard because like the description she gave of like she passed a tree, like she passed a stream, like they could be, but I don't know if we got enough like a distinct point, right? Like I know that one tree had an X on it, we passed that X, like that would be a little bit different.
Here's part of what makes this a really interesting thought is that Varamir is nearby, and we knew he was at the wall. So, like, do you think he is just charging north as well?
We knew what he was doing. Him and a huge pack of wildlings were leaving the wall after
the
battle.
I know, but this is a month later or whatever.
A week after Varamir's last chapter.
Yeah, and he was like, I don't think he was this
Wasn't
far
he
from the
going
wall.
east, Nuss? Is that right?
They've been kind of heading northeast, I think. Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm saying, I guess. I don't know. I mean, to me, for him to run into Bran here,
Who was west of Castle Black?
Slightly. Yeah.
Like-
I'll say they're near. I think they're near Crasters. Most people assume they're near Crasters here. I don't have a map for you guys, but
Wow! Oh my gosh!
yeah, we love maps. Come on, Jeff's favorite thing is the fucking maps, and you don't even bring a goddamn map.
You're not prepared for map time.
I think is there a map of the north in the book? I don't know.
Yeah, beyond the wall.
Basically, I'll spoil it.
Wow! Spoiler.
I don't think it's actually true. I don't know why. It's confirmed on the wiki that it's true. So maybe George told some people who run the wiki that it's true. One of the Night's Watch people that Summer eats, we know who it is, and it's one of the mutineers from Crasser's Keep. I don't think there's enough evidence actually in the text for anyone to make that claim for sure. The only thing is he's missing a hand. There's a guy without a hand who has it wrapped up in leather.
You know what?
Yeah.
That's a good. I think that's
did
a good
wonder who that
spoil
was.
because I was like, why the fuck are these Night's Watchmen this far north? That doesn't make much sense.
We'll get to it later too, but it also kind of makes the whole dilemma of like, holy shit, you killed Night's Watchmen, not as much of a dilemma if it's like, but there were bad Night's Watchmen.
They were dicks, yeah. Killed
The
everybody.
people we didn't like anyway.
Yeah, we can talk about that later, but
Yeah.
why did I bring that? What were we talking about just now? Why did I bring that up?
How far they were, where they were.
That's why I think they're relatively near Craster's. Yeah,
You said they were walking in circles.
if that's true. Real quick on the walking in circles thing. Again, I don't think there's real evidence one way or the other. I thought it was possible, and I think I guess my thought went to, what would the reason be? And the only thing I could come up with was a non-spoilery reason. It's, what if Cold Hands knew that these Night's Watchmen were following them, but they were like too far behind? So he like wanted them to catch up, but he didn't like want to scare Bran and them and just say like, hey, let's hunker down and wait for these guys to come find us. So instead he's like,
That's stupid.
just goes in circles once or twice, lets them for a day, just goes in circles, lets these guys get a day closer, and then it's the only thing I could think.
I don't like it.
But yeah, I don't know. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, like I said, I think they're further, but yeah, we're good.
Yeah. So other things that they're questioning about Cold Hands, they don't actually know his name. His face is always covered. He hasn't eat or drank near them. And Bran then figures out,
Doesn't
like,
sleep.
holy shit. He has a scarf on his face, and nothing's freezing there. He's not breathing. There's no moisture.
Somebody also mentions like anybody can put on a black cloak. Great point. There's got to be a lot of dead bodies with black cloaks, so you can just snag one. Like,
Doesn't guarantee that he's a Night's Watchman.
kind of your thing you always say, Jeff, the ID.
No such thing.
Yeah, not this time.
And he thinks of old Nand stories of the monsters north of the wall.
Yep.
Beyond the wall, the monsters live. The giants and the ghouls, the stalking shadows and the dead that walk, she would say, tucking him in beneath his scratchy woolen blanket. But they cannot pass so long as the wall stands strong and the men of the Night's Watch are true. So go to sleep, my little Brandon, my baby boy, and dream sweet dreams.
There are no monsters here.
And that's an important part for the end of the chapter.
Yep. So they come upon the frozen lake, but it's like, holy shit, it's been snowing a time. Like, can't even see the coast. Tough path to follow.
Yeah, man. Trees don't even like you'd think. Oh, I'll just follow the not cleared part, right? Like but he's like, there's islands out there with trees on them, and there's cleared lakeside property. So
Yeah, like big fields on the shore, so you can't really tell.
yeah, impossible. Yeah.
Real quick on the monster thing, the thing that Bran thinks after he thinks about the old Nan quote is he thinks, what if Cold Hands is just dressed like a Night's Watch, but he's really a monster taking us to other monsters to be devoured, which is kind of like what he kind of says a little bit is the case at the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, just kind of wanted to mention that.
He didn't deny it.
Yeah.
Night was coming, and it's about to get too cold without their shelter. And Brent's like, fuck it, let me slip in the summer real quick. I'll find the way.
Yep.
And she does pretty good. She gets to the top of something, like little
I
hill.
thought we agreed that it was a he. Or...
I'm going to struggle with that.
Well, you probably got it wrong in your notes for the whole section, right?
I just say summer a lot, I think.
Yeah, that's what I do too. Tend up just trying to avoid the pronoun problem.
Summer's my girl, though, so what's up, Summer? He gets to the top of something, and he smells around, and he smells some ashes, which...
Yeah, old fire.
Yeah. Which would be... That's an impressive smell. Like, can you imagine being able to smell that well? Like, how long was the fire actually lit in this fireplace that you can smell the ashes?
Yeah. It is cool. There's a moment where Bran... Because, like, one of you guys said it earlier. It's, like, very silent in these woods. Right? Like, just everything is really silent. And there's a part where, like, he slips into summer, and he's like... And the silence faded, and then now it was noisy as hell.
The dead woods came to sudden life.
Yeah. Is it right here?
The dead woods came to sudden life. Where before there had been silence, now he heard. Wind in the trees, Hodor's breathing, elk pawing at the ground in search of fodder.
Yeah.
Familiar scents filled his nostrils, wet leaves and dead grass. Yeah, so it just like turns everything on, essentially.
Can you imagine your senses just being fucking that heightened? It'd be nuts.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, the flip of a switch.
Yeah, and so Summer goes off. Hodor starts to follow. Nobody else does. Bran comes back. He's like, hey, follow Summer. Let's go. They get to the village, right? Nothing happens really till they get to the village. It's covered in snow. It looks just like rocks. Like they would have passed it if it wasn't for Summer, right? Because on the shore, it doesn't look like a village. It just looks like boulders with snow.
Well, the snow's so deep that it just looks like mounds. Yeah.
So, but they find it. They get in, settle in a little long haul, but no fire.
This village wasn't torched either, which is interesting.
Yeah, they've come across a lot of other destroyed villages.
It says this village was saved by the torch, which I guess
saved from the torch, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to...
I thought it was weird that other villages were being torched.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of torching the village before you leave it?
Yeah, that's a good point, though, because I did think, like, why would they do that?
Like, do you you don't want someone to take your abandoned village?
Well, like, the wildlings knew they were basically running from the others, or the whites, right?
Yeah.
But, like, it's not like the whites are going to set up a, like,
they're not setting up shop.
Camps.
Right? Or we don't know a lot about, maybe they are.
They're not setting up shop. Come on.
like that's what you would do. Like, isn't that like in wars when you retreat, you burn everything right so the advancing enemy?
You think, doesn't have any supplies.
Again, I would agree that it doesn't seem like something that would be helpful against the others, but the wildlings know more about the others than I do, probably. So I don't know. Maybe we should take that as evidence.
Mance Raider was an idiot.
Mance Raider was an idiot.
Yeah, I think it's a stupid precaution if there was.
God, I can't believe he ordered them to do this. Yeah.
But nice enough village though. There's a long haul here.
Yep.
And it's like they're gonna be around walls and a roof for a night, which it's still bitter cold, and they got no food. They're just sucking on ice. That's awful.
Sucking on ice. Well, they got acorn paste.
Yeah.
I think I would rather just eat snow than suck on ice.
Yeah, me too. There are people that like to chew on ice that I want to hit those people.
Nah.
I hate the sound of other people chewing on ice. It's a horrible sound.
Nah. It's
yeah.
childhood pastime.
That's fair, Nelson, to not like hearing it.
You agree with me, Kyle?
I would be chewing on ice for sure.
I love chewing on ice. Horrible sound for somebody else to be doing in your ear.
You guys are both
100%.
ice chewers.
I'll have to get Squirt to go out and chew snow the next time and see.
Ice or snow.
Are you an ice chewer, Jeff?
Yeah,
Oh, I definitely chop on ice. Like an ice cube? Absolutely.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
when I'm not done with my drink and there's ice cubes in it, I chop them.
That's a great meal.
That's crazy.
just talked
That's a
about this
serial
today.
killer move, I think.
No. It's actually a great little hungover trick because like you're not drinking. Like if your tummy's hurt and you need some hydration.
I have sensitive teeth. I can't bite my ice cream cone. I gotta lick my ice cream.
Yeah, I don't have that.
I mean, I'm not using my front ones.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like I can't even imagine. It hurts. It hurts me to think about trying to bite an ice cube. It's like that would be torture for me, bro.
Like a good nice cube is good, but also like I like crushed ice because
Crushed ice, or you got to wait until the end of the drink so that they're like kind of like soft already. You don't
I'm
want
okay
to
with
fresh from the
crushed
freezer.
ice. And
ice.
taking like a little piece of like crushed ice and just finishing her off in the molars. Like I can do that, but like I'm not gonna take a full ass ice cube. And,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
that would hurt me.
You do the big one.
I can't. Why are we getting on so many tangents tonight? Oh, speaking of tangents, we have a tangent we're supposed to get on. It's written on my desk. We got to ask Kyle.
That's at the end. That's an end tangent.
All right, if you're listening to the House of the Dragons, you want Kyle's B or not House of the Dragons, Another Seven Kingdoms. You want Kyle's B information. You got to wait to the end of the podcast for that one.
B information.
Big B question coming. Kyle, be prepared.
Be expert.
Yeah, they're rough, but there is a little stream. Is this stream running through the long haul? Is kind of how I took it.
No, I think it's just nearby.
So the elk went and got a sip, and then Summer went out hunting, and they're just sharing some acorn paste. Which Joe's was like, "Fuck that! I'll just dream of eating
Chickens.
actual food."
Acorns suck, man. Not edible until you boil them.
Yeah.
Well, you can eat them obviously, but it sucks.
Deers eat them. Yeah.
I ain't eating acorns.
Yeah, that would hurt my belly. This makes me like want to go out and eat them though, like and just to see, like just to,
awful.
Like
awful.
I know
Don't
it would
try
be awful, but like just
I've
once.
done it. Don't try it.
You've done it. You've eaten acorns.
You've never tried
Like
an
a
acorn?
raw acorn.
That's what I'm saying. I want to go try it just one time. Like,
Go for it. Go snip one.
Like it fell off the ground and you just start chewing it.
Yeah, I've taken
Just
a
like
bite
a
of
raw
it.
one. You didn't even make. I want to make it into a paste. I want to put it in a.
That's way too much work. You just step on one and you take a little piece of it and try it.
Or would they make it into a paste? Getting the elk to step on it or something?
It
like
just says crushed. It doesn't say pasted.
that? Oh, does
I thought it
Okay.
was a paste.
Crushed acorns.
Okay, I guess crushed.
They might say paste at some point. I'm not standing on that mountain.
Yeah,
but
I put paste in my deal, but
they lived on crushed acorns and raw fish.
Yeah.
I like the quote that Jojen's like, "I'm not eating because today is not the day I die."
Yeah.
Well, not eating is going to get you there a little bit quicker, Joe. Don't you think?
Yeah.
But this is where we get the line that they ran out of food that they brought south of the wall 10 days ago, and Mira hadn't caught a fish in 3 days. And they've also just been like going straight sushi style.
Alone vibes.
I mean, they smoked the fish and
they cook the fish,
probably
yeah.
cook
They're
it
usually
in a
cooking them,
pot,
yeah.
right? Like they're cooking. They're just eating sashimi.
Yeah, because Cold Hands has the no fire rule, I guess, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Fair enough.
So they sat in silent and fireless because they didn't want fire could attract anything in these woods.
Yep.
That's why Bran's like, fuck it, let me slip into summer again.
I don't even know if he actually tries here. I think he's just trying to go to sleep, but then he says he closed his eyes, and next thing the woods came alive. I wonder how this works. Like
I think he's trying.
it's one of the things where again, we don't have to get on this tangent, but like, I wonder like if when you try and go to sleep, but you end up warging instead, do you like not get as well rested? And if that just like keeps happening, you just like never get like a full night's sleep. You know
There's
what I
a
mean?
Mitch Hedberg joke. He's like, I had a busy dream last night. He's like, I'm just trying to sleep, and instead I got to build a go-kart with my landlord.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that. Yeah,
Just trying to rest one time.
Yeah,
You got to be
like,
running through, chasing, killing people and stuff.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Bran can sleep on Hodor's back, though. Let's be real.
That's true. Just nap on the ride.
Summer comes upon 3 wolves, and we get a description of them. We put it together that they were Varamir's wolves.
Yeah, that was evident to me very quickly. I agree.
Yep. Especially when the one's a one eye.
Yeah, that's like the first thing he points out.
Yeah.
One with a pale eye or something like that. Yeah.
Yep. And they were eating 5 Night's Watchmen.
Yep. There's something weird about the first one that Bran mentions. I don't know exactly what it is, but like the head's completely cut off, the eyes are pecked out, cheeks are clawed, and the entrails are like in a bush. The entrails in a bush, I guess, could have been the wolves, but to me, even that feels ravens. Maybe.
Like they pulled them out and like flew away with them.
Yeah, like flew to the bush to eat them, and then it just like left it there when they fucked off.
When the wolves came, maybe.
But yeah, I just think it's kind of cool how there is like hints that this was there was
Not
ravens
wolves.
here, right? Not wolves
okay.
that killed them. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll be honest, I didn't pick up on that till
Now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or like
At first, I didn't either. Yeah, I thought it was Varamir.
no, I mean at the end of the chapter you pick up on it because you realize
Yeah.
that Bran puts together that cold hands killed the Night's Watchman.
Yeah. Well, there's 2 things that I think. One is there's the first head he sees
Yes, cut
is
off.
completely cut off.
I did wonder that, but I didn't think anything about it. Yeah.
Could it be chewed off? I don't know. Like
And then when Summer, after he wins the little fight and he goes and he chooses his first
there's
victim,
no eyes.
there's no eyes and the whole face is chewed
Slit
off
throat.
basically, and it's a slit throat, which is unless you're doing like Scar from Lion King, claw across the neck or something, you're not gonna get a slit throat from a wolf.
Yeah, so the one thing that like again, I was trying to figure out why these Night's Watchmen would be this far north, and I didn't really have that answer. I was like, did a ranging party come upon like who was with Varamir? Like, was it circumstance that like Night's Watchmen got killed here, and then the wolves were just kind of finishing off what was left? But because like the blood was frozen, but they were still kind of fresh. But like it's also freezing cold. Like, would the meat still be good?
You're hinting that the Alo Lapan Crasser's Keep thing kind of explains that a little bit.
I do. Yeah.
I think that makes sense too. I didn't really like when I had like saw that the people were saying that this was Alo because he had no hand. I'm like, yeah, but there's got to be more people in the Watch, even that we don't know about, even from like the other castles that we just haven't seen.
They're all criminals. Yeah.
Without a hand.
Exactly, that don't have a hand, because I think even Alo we know lost his hand for thievery. Right.
That's what I was saying. Exactly.
So,
Yeah, it's like a punishment.
and like a lot of people here don't have feet. Again, I don't know if that's as a punishment, but it's like a spare boot. Hop foot, right? There's like a bunch of like
Egg leg.
Hop Robin. Come on.
Hop Robin. Yeah, that's not hop foot exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so I was just wondering, but I think that point makes sense. The point that there's no other Night's Watch up here except for really the Crassers people. So and I think is probably the only one-handed people out of all of them.
Well, the one thing I was going to say about why I wasn't completely sure that this was Cold Hands until like it was spelled out for me was just that more if we just knew Varamir was kind of a piece of shit. So like
he would kill him.
It wouldn't be that weird for him to rip some dudes apart, right? Like it seemed kind of in his wheelhouse. So that's why I didn't really think twice about it.
Taste some eyeballs.
Yeah, just doing weird
Well, if
shit.
you flip it back, why are these guys out here?
Because they ran, right? They killed
They decided to
Craster
leave
and then they
Crasser's
pieced.
Keep.
Or killed Mormont and pieced.
Well, last we heard they were just chilling at Crasser's.
I mean, they could have been out hunting or something. They need food too, right? I know.
Well, that's the thing is we don't know
Crasser
how
had
far. I guess Cold Hand seems to think they're following.
Yeah.
They're not just like hunting. Oh, we're gonna run into them by accident. Like they're following us, is what Cold Hand said. So
I'll say one thing: if you're the people at Craster's and you see like, holy shit, there's some footprints here, and
kids'
like,
footprints. Or, yeah, I guess it
Big
wouldn't
ass
actually be
tracks.
kids'
probably just
footprints.
Hodor's, right? But like,
Yeah.
oh shit, like is someone setting up an attack on us? Like, let's go check out. Send a little.
Or even the giant elk footprints that you're like, hey, that thing will feed all of us for months.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so summer comes up, and the young wolf like gives it a shot, but it's afraid. He's the tail, but old One Eye, he wasn't. One Eye was ready for a fight, and right before the fight, he's like, "Holy shit,
Warg.
Warg!"
Yep.
Which that's interesting how you could tell
I think
tell
Varamir
that.
says a warg can always tell a warg, and he knew Jon right away or something
But
like that.
Bran isn't really there yet.
That's what I was gonna say. This is one of those things, Jeff, where it could be even Varamir saying it. I guess in a way, like, does he have the ability to
warg contact?
We
each
don't
other?
know. I guess at this point,
Yeah, we don't know how that works.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I know Varamir's dead.
I'm a little
like his body
skeptical
is dead,
of Bran being able to sense a warg because he hasn't done it to this point.
but
And
it is weird.
Yeah,
like he's
That's
obviously been with Rickon, and Rickon's been
it's fair.
in Shaggy Dog and shit like that. Like
Yeah,
he
that's
wasn't
fair.
like, I wonder if Rickon's inside Shaggy Dog, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know. Red flag, George. But I'm not that worried about it. So they get a good fight going. He beats the one-eyed wolf. Wolf turns his belly over.
Yeah, exactly. This is the line I'm going to this is the line I want to This is the line I wanted to read for you, Jeff. But fun.
Bruce Almighty.
Blah, 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 blah,
A PP!
And then my tiny little nipples went to France. But finally, the old one-eyed wolf lay down and showed his belly. The dire wolf snapped at him twice more, sniffed at his butt, then lifted a leg over him.
Yeah,
Does Summer pee on old one-eyed
I think
here?
so.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He pisses on him as like a
At the very least, he
it's like a
sprayed on him a
teabag
little
move,
bit. Yeah.
like a teabag in Halo.
I think so.
Like suck
It's like
it.
a wolf thing, probably. Yeah. Dominance thing.
Peed on. I mean, maybe One Eye's into that. You never know.
Yeah. So Summer looks over at the people that are left and picks the brother with the missing hand to eat.
Alo Lapand.
No meat ever tasted so good. Half as good.
Bran doing some awful shit.
Yeah, no meat ever tasted half as good. Brand's fucked up. Abomination.
Abomination. Alright. So, Summer ate around a little bit and the pack followed after. And Summer's like, shit, this is my pack now. Like, they're with me. And Bran's like, no. Don't forget about your other pack.
Exactly. The boy whispered, "We have another pack. Lady's dead and maybe Greywind too. But somewhere there's still Shaggy Dog, Nymeria, and Ghost. Remember Ghost?" And then, that's when he hops back to Bran. The other thing I'll mention is right before he hops back to Bran, while he's eating these bodies, he does look up and say, think about how there's ravens in the trees watching him. Which, that's Cold Hands is watching, right?
Ravens watched him from the trees, squatting dark-eyed and silent on the branches as snow drifted around them. Yeah.
Yep.
Good point. Yeah.
So he comes back. Mira's cooking sow.
Sal. Yeah.
I think that's probably another hint that was Crasher's Keep, right? Cold Hand stole a pig from Crasher's Keep.
I guess, yeah.
Where was there just going to be a pig line? Where was a pig going to be?
That's a good point.
The wolves didn't see Crasser's Keep. I think these guys came from Crasser's Keep. But yeah, maybe they had a sow with
Where
them.
was just a pig going to be walking around the north?
They might have had it with them. They might have been pushed out of Crasher's Keep. That was another thing I wanted to say earlier by whites or something, right? Like, I mean, they could have been attacked themselves and gotten pushed out and been like, take the pig, and ran.
Yeah.
Bacon.
I also think there's a chance this isn't a sow. We don't got a pig roasting on a spit. We got hunks of meat.
Is Nelson implying cannibalism?
Cold Hands came back from where?
Did he skin it?
I don't know. I wish Bran would have checked and saw if like anybody was missing a leg or something like that. You know what I mean?
That's interesting. You feel like Mira would know the difference between a pig's leg and a...
They're probably still excited
a
to
really
see
good
it.
point, but like, where the fuck else we getting he doesn't say we got this from
I think
Crasher's
that's it.
Keep.
I mean, that's it. It's like Crasher's Keep had some pigs.
So like, what did you think before I told you that Olive might have from Crasher's?
I honestly was like, that's fucking weird that they found a pig out here.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what you're
I
supposed
just
to
assumed it was like a wild boar.
Because I think even the fact that it's Alo isn't confirmed. It's like a fan theory. So like, again, I think it makes sense that you're saying just like logically who else is up here Night's Watch wise. But yeah, I think that this is not a sow. I think it's more likely it's a part of one of the 5 Night's Watchmen.
If we're going that they were Crasher's Keep people, I'm going to say somehow, like, all right, say they even the Rangers of the Crasher's Keep people, right? This group of 5 just had sow parts with them to cook themselves while they were out and about, right?
Yeah.
So like not a whole they weren't like leashing a pig around, but they had a pig leg with them.
Yeah,
for
a couple pork loin or something.
yeah,
in the
like all
backpack.
right,
Yeah.
like let's cook it up. Like at night.
Again, I don't think that's impossible. It's just I think it's an intentional insinuation, but I think you're supposed to wonder about this.
All right, I'll wonder about it.
Well, let me say something here. Nipped at his own joint. So does that like imply, like, wouldn't you notice if it was somebody's fucking knee or like if it was a human arm elbow joint versus a pig. Like, no, that's a pig.
I don't know if you would just throw me a pig femur versus just a normal bone. Like if I would be able to be like, nope, pig leg.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think you could tell like a human's leg is vastly different shape than a pig leg.
I would agree with you.
Yeah. There's just a weird line where like out of nowhere, Bran's like, it was the Night's Watch. He brought back a sow. And like, I don't know, it feels like out of place to me.
Yeah. I'm gonna stick with that. They had pig parts in their packages as they were arranging to cook themselves, and then Cold Hand's like, fuck it, I got some humans that need to eat actual meat. Let me take this meat. But
the Night's Watch thing is way later though.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know that you're wrong. I just don't know that. I feel like this dude would
and they
do
call
something other than.
Bran keeps calling it flesh. He doesn't call it pork.
the ranger killed a pig.
Yeah, the ranger killed a pig. He doesn't call it pork. He's like, Hodor was tearing it eagerly at a chunk of hot, charred flesh as blood and grease ran down into his beard.
I mean, grease is... Alright, the one thing I can
Everything
say is
makes
that
grease.
they killed a pig. Like, Sam is fat. Like, they always talked about Sam being fat. Like, you know, how meaty Sam's fat would be if they had to eat him type of thing, right?
Yeah. And there was they actually roasted a guy at Craster. Not they weren't going to eat him, but they burned him to death at Craster's, and Sam's mouth was watering because he smelled like pig.
All right, just say that you want it to be people, and let's move on.
I think it's people.
You
And I
want
think
us
this
to
isn't
think
this
about
isn't
it.
just
You
a me
haven't-
thing either. This is a theory. That
I'm
people
sure
think
it's a
people.
theory.
Yeah. So
All right, whatever. It's either a pig that they took from their storage, or it's a human leg.
yeah, and I think you're right. I think we did hear that like Craster had like hams. Or
Yeah,
they
like,
suspected he
they
had hams
food.
tucked away.
They had
and
food
stuff.
to last a long winter, right? And fuck,
Yeah.
they're in the worst of it all.
I will say I think the last we heard when Gren gets back, Gren tells John that we had to leave Sam behind because by the time we left, they were searching. They were like ripping down the walls in Craster's
Trying to find food.
the hidden food. Yeah. So
Yeah.
not that says, but yeah, it
Yeah.
might not have lasted them very long.
So the others were eating by the fire, or just kind of around, and Cold Hand's very far away, doesn't want to be near the fire. And they were allowed to light a fire because they had the walls to hide the light, and it was about to be dawn anyway. So
Yeah, and so this is Cold Hand stood beside the door, Raven on his arm, both staring at the fire. Reflections from the flames glittered off 4 black eyes. This was just like, are they doing some Melisandre? It doesn't seem like it, right? Because this guy doesn't like fire. But like, are they doing some like Melisandre vision gaining?
I don't think so.
No. Okay.
I didn't get that far.
It's not what not the
Okay.
vibe.
I just think these 4 eyes are all looking together. Like if you needed to like more proof that the Ravens and Cold Hands were connected, it was these 4 eyes were looking at us.
Yeah, and we're gonna read this quote at the end, which I think we learn a lot about Cold Hands here. So, yeah, he basically says why he's allowed to have the fire. It's almost light. We'll be good. Bran's like, what happened to the foes behind us? And he's like, don't worry, they won't trouble us anymore. He's like, who were they? Wildlings? And he's like, they were foes. And Bran thinks men of the Night's Watch, and then he realizes basically what happens and calls Cold Hands out. And this is where I want to start the quote.
You killed them, you and the Ravens. Their faces were all torn and their eyes were gone.
Cold Hands did not deny it.
They were your brothers. I saw. The wolves had ripped their clothes up, but I could still tell. Their cloaks were black, like your hands.
Cold Hands said nothing.
Who are you? Why are your hands black?
The ranger studied his hands as if he had never noticed them before.
Once the heart ceases to beat, a man's blood runs down into his extremities, where it thickens and congeals.
His voice rattled in his throat, as thin and gaunt as he was.
His hands and feet swell up and turn as black as pudding. The rest of him becomes as white as milk.
Mira Reed rose, her frog spear in hand, a chunk of smoking meat still impaled upon his tines. Show us your face! The ranger made no move to obey.
He's dead.
Bran could taste the bile in his throat.
Mirror, he's some dead thing. The monsters cannot pass so long as the wall stands, and the men of the Night's Watch stay true. That's what old Nan used to say. He came to meet us at the wall, but he could not pass. He sent Sam instead, with that wildling girl.
Mira's gloved hand tightened around the shaft of her frog spear. Who sent you? Who is this 3-eyed crow?
A friend, dreamer, wizard, call him what you will. The last green seer.
The long hall's wooden door banged open. Outside, the night wind howled, bleak and black. The trees were full of ravens, screaming. Cold Hands did not move.
Monster.
Bran said. The ranger looked at Bran as if the rest of them did not exist.
You're a monster, Brandon Stark.
Yours?
The raven echoed from his shoulder. Outside the door, the ravens in the trees took up the cry, until the night wood echoed to the murderer's song of,
Yours.
Jojin, did you dream this? Mira asked her brother. Who is he? What is he? What do we do now?
We go with the ranger.
Said Jojin.
We have come too far to turn back now, Mira. We would never make it back to the wall alive. We go with Bran's monster, or we die.
Yeah. So I think this is really interesting. There's a lot of interesting things here, but I want to start with this last part where Jojin at the very end here seems to call Cold Hands Bran's monster. And that doesn't seem to me like what they were talking about. Bran says, Mira says, who sent you? Who is this three-eyed crow? And if you cut out like all like the doors opening and ravens flapping and stuff, Cold Hands answers, a friend, a dreamer, wizard, call him what you will, the last green seer. A monster, Bran says. So it sounds like Bran's calling the three-eyed crow a monster, right? Am I reading that wrong? Because they asked who's the three-eyed crow, and then
No, I think he's
Cold Hands
calling,
lays out these.
I think he's. Let me just see that part again.
It's weird.
Who's the monster you're saying?
Well, he says, call him what you will. And Bran's next answer is a monster.
I mean, but Bran's answer before is he's dead. The monsters cannot pass so long as the wall stands. He came to meet us, but he can't come through. Like, he's kind of calling him a monster here.
What's your point about Jojin? I mean, Jojin's just kind of agreeing with Cold Hands, I guess. It's like, fine, if that's what you want to call him.
I guess my point is Jojin says we have to go with Bran's monster, implying that Bran's monster is Cold Hands. But if you would take out that line that Jojin said and ask me who Bran's monster is, I would think that they're talking about the three-eyed crow as is Bran's monster.
I think what the line Jojin's saying is we have to keep on the track we're on to get to Bran's monster. Like it's either Bran's monster or the wall. If we try to go back to the wall, we die. So
how about this?
But he says we go with Bran's monster, not to Bran. That's what I was thinking too,
well,
Jeff. But
I mean, a monster and a monster, right? Like it's.
Go ahead, Kyle. What's your thought?
I was just gonna say, what if this is a warged into dead guy?
So yes, so then Cold Hands is the three-eyed crow, is what you're saying. Yeah. I think that's how this kind of makes sense. That's what I was thinking too. It's the only way that this really makes sense.
Well, I think he's really calling both of them monsters, right? Because like at the beginning, he's like he's dead.
Yes,
blah, blah, blah.
I agree.
Mira,
Jeff.
he's some dead thing.
We find out Cold Hands is dead, right?
He says right after he says he's dead, the monsters cannot pass so long as the wall stands. So there, he's calling Cold Hands the monster. And then he asks who gets sent, and then they call that person a monster too. So they're both monsters.
I guess, okay, that's fair. That's fair. The second, when Bran says a monster, he might be talking about the three-eyed crow. But earlier, he was talking about Cold Hands as a monster, as in that he's the one that can't cross the wall. That's fair.
Well, yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
He's like, there's monsters north of the wall. This guy can't cross the wall.
Yeah, but I guess my bad thinking about it led me to the conclusion that kind of Kyle came to, and that like, first off, it doesn't seem like it's just warging into dead people, right? Because like Varamir, we saw him die trying to warg into people
or something.
Yeah, and like we saw how hard it didn't seem like who's a very powerful like warger, could just like warg into dead people. Again, so I think interesting when they say who is the three-eyed crow, his answer is a friend, dreamer, wizard, call him what you will, the last green seer. What do we know about green seer?
Jojin can do it. His green dreams. Fight man, though.
I would say it's hard to argue with that because they literally say he hasn't had a green dream since you've come north of the wall earlier in the chapter.
From Bran won Storm of Swords, Jojin gave a solemn nod. I dreamed of a winged wolf bound to the earth by chains of stone and came to Winterfell to free him. The chains are off you now, yet still you do not fly. Then you teach me. Bran still feared the three-eyed crow who haunted his dreams sometimes, pecking endlessly at his skin between his eyes and telling him to fly. You're a green seer. No, Jojin says. Only a boy who dreams. The green seers were more than that. They were wargs as well as you are. The greatest of them could wear the skins of any beast that flies or swims or crawls, and could look through the eyes of the weirwoods as well, and see the truth that lies beyond the world. There's another long quote about weirwoods.
That's fine. I think that gets the point across. It's deeper than what Jojin can do.
There's another nuance to it. I'll let Kyle. One of you guys can read this one. I was copied into the chat. Decently long. I think it's important though.
They were a people of dark and beautiful, small. of
This is talking
stature.
about children of the forest in general, not green seers so far. They'll mention green seers in this quote.
Okay. They were a people dark and beautiful, small of stature, no taller than children even when grown to manhood. They lived in the depths of the wood, in caves and crannogs and secret tree towns. Slight as they were, the children were quick and graceful. Male and female hunted together, with weirwood bows and flying snares. Their gods were the gods of the forest, stream and stone, the old gods whose names are secret. Their wise men were called green seers and carved strange faces in the weirwoods to keep watch in the woods. How long the children reigned here or where they came from, no man can know. But some 12,000 years ago, the first men appeared from the east, crossing the broken arm of Dorm before it was broken. They came with bronze swords and great leathern shields, riding horses. No horse had ever been seen on this side of the narrow sea. No doubt the children were as frightened by the horses as the first men were by the faces in the trees. As the first men carved out holdfasts and farms, they cut down the faces and gave them to the fire. Horror-struck, the children went to war. The old songs say that the green seers used dark magics to make the seas rise and sweep away the land, shattering the arm, but it was too late to close the door. The wars went on until the earth ran red with blood of men and children both, but more children than men, for men were bigger and stronger, and wood and stone and obsidian make a poor match for bronze. Finally, the wise of both races prevailed, and the chiefs and heroes of the first men met the green seers and wood dancers amidst the weirwood groves of a small island in the great lake called God's Eye.
Yep. And then they basically make a pact. There they forged a pact. The first men were given the coastlands, the high plains, and the bright meadows, mountains and the bogs, the deep woods were to remain forever of the children.
Who said that? Was that a Jojin?
I think this is Lewin. This is Game of Thrones.
Amazing. Okay.
It's got to be Lewin talking to Bran. Yeah, it's Lewin. So, and we actually hear about them a lot, but the main point that's there is I think that gives the most general good description. They are very powerful, right? That talks about them like raising seas to basically create the bogs, or what did it say?
Yeah, they broke the arm.
Yeah, broke the arm of Dorne. Georgian's quote says that they can take over any beast, see through the things. But I think the important part there is it's all the quotes we have of them it's children of the forest.
Okay.
So are we going to a child of the forest? They're supposed to be gone. I mean, so were the dire wolves. But if you actually there's a lot of quotes of. It's probably 10 different quotes of green seers.
But it sounded like they were separate from the children of the forest to me. It sounded like they were in. But you're right. They were the only ones there. Who else was there?
Of the children of the forest, their wise men were called green seers.
Yeah, who else would it be? You're right. Yeah.
So, I just think it's interesting. And just because one of you guys earlier said Jojen's a green seer, and literally when Bran says, "You teach me, you're a green seer," says, "No, I'm only a man that dreams. Green seers are more than warg. They were wargs as well as you are. The greatest of them. They could wear the skins of any beast that flies, swim. Blah 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 blah."
I blame the writing because I feel like it said he hadn't had a green dream since he came north.
Yeah, he has green dreams. He does.
No,
he
for
says
sure.
that. Yeah.
Again, I think it's not something that I think the average reader on the first read would think twice about. That green seer is actually a special word, but it kind of it's a special Game of Thrones word. That's why it jumps out to me. That's why I used the search of Ice and Fire where you can search for a word in all the books. So I looked in all of them previous. We're getting to the point where I can just do that, and now I can just tell Kyle about this. We used to do it the other way, where if we saw green seer in book one, I'd mention all the times it's mentioned in the future books. But yeah, now we can go back. So yeah, just kind of cool. The other stuff about Cold Hands, right? He's dead, right? He pretty much admits it, no problem. It doesn't even care about it.
Yeah, fully admits it. Yeah.
Thoughts?
I don't know. I mean, there's two options, right? Is that he's either being controlled, worked by somebody else, a green seer, or it's a Catelyn kind of scenario, Barrack, right? Where he's kind of zombified. He's like, yeah, I died a couple times, but I'm back. Either way,
that's
some
fair.
heavy, crazy stuff going on.
The one interesting part, I think, is all right, Mira was like, hey, I'll go fight them with you. Did he turn her down because she really needed to protect Bran, or because he didn't want her to see him kill Night's Watchman? Because
yes,
right, if there was Night's Watchman there, Mira would have been like, hey, come, we have Bran, maybe. But Bran also didn't want to see Jon, right? Told Sam to keep it a secret, so.
Oh yeah. They had to know that his identity and him being alive was still paramount to the secrecy was paramount.
Killing Night's Watchman makes you part of the enemy. Obviously Bran would be on the Night's Watch side because of Jon, and it's wow, you just killed Jon's friends.
Yeah. And Cold Hands probably wouldn't have the knowledge to know that these were bad ones, right? He wouldn't be able to explain, oh no, they had it, trust me, these guys mutinied and then they took over crap.
I don't know about that. I think
when he comes out of the woods though, I think they're gonna try and attack him or something, right? He probably looks like what they're used to trying to kill if they're out here fighting walkers and whites.
Yeah, I guess I would question, do we think that they are used to fighting? Well, I mean, I guess so.
I think if they're out here, they have to be. Every other person north of the wall has encountered them at this point.
Yeah, but Craster was
A friend.
Yeah, he was. I forget what the terms he used, but he was sacrificing to them basically to keep them away.
Yeah.
So if they were chilling at Craster's place, that probably
The
stayed.
sacrifices have stopped.
That it lasted a little. It probably lasted a little. It's been a month, right? Well, it's
There's
probably
still
been 2 or
some
3
wives
months
there.
since then.
Hold on. There's still some wives there. There's probably like chance that 1 or 2 were still pregnant, right? Like they might have had.
Yeah. What's Alo Lapan gonna do if a baby
They had a
pops
couple
out?
in the chamber.
Is he gonna start giving it food and taking care of it? Yeah, probably not. Yeah, he might
On
just follow
deck.
Craster's.
This is what I'm saying. If there were wives still there that they kept them, and I'm sure they're not doing anything nice to them, but a wife gave birth and was like, "This is what Craster would do to keep us safe," type of thing. Like,
Yeah, you have to send them out. Yeah.
There's a chance that they learn that knowledge. There's also a chance that they're like Gilly.
I don't think the
Hold on,
wife
you never let me
would
finish.
offer that up because of Gilly.
Why would you not?
Go ahead. Hang on, Jeff. Go. Finish your statement, Jeff, because
There's a chance that the mother's like, "No, I want to keep my baby," just like Gilly did, and would fight. But there's also a chance that like an older wife knows the deal and understands that it's the only don't roll your eyes at me, because it's the only reason that they are safe out here in this wicked north of the wall mess, is that because they are offering the baby up. So there is a chance that an older wife would pass on that knowledge.
Sure.
one of these
Don't
people has
smirk
to be
like
involved
you know the
in
truth
like,
of
the
it
cult
all, you little rat.
of Craster, right?
You
Like
little
there
mutineer.
have to be
Nelson would
some.
be-
You're just too show minded. That happens in the show, and it's just not in the books. And that, like, I
This
didn't want
is-
to tell.
I
I didn't want
don't
to
even
say that
remember
happens.
that. I don't even remember that scene in the show.
I
so,
don't care if you remember it or not. You're fucked. Your mind is subliminally fucked. Your unconscious just is a show first
I didn't
guy.
see the
and that's
damn
why.
show.
That's why I was smirking. I know.
Not
But
sure.
that's why
I
I was
didn't see the
smirking. So I was
show.
like, Jeff's just talking about a scene from the show.
I've
I'm
no,
like, yeah,
some
it's
of
not,
these-
it's not impossible, but I still don't think it's a good idea.
I have no semblance. I don't even have a slight memory of that scene in the show.
I think there has to be statistically some of them have to agree with Craster. Even if it's in their worst interest and they don't understand why, some of them agree
I
with
don't
him.
think it's completely impossible. I wasn't smirking because I think
You were
it's a
smirking.
completely impossible idea. I thought Jeff was just basically describing the scene from the show, because that's exactly what happens in the show.
I
He
honestly,
was.
I
You know
don't
he
have
was, let's be-
one iota
I'm
of
gonna
what
listen.
happens. in
I
that
believe
scene.
you. I believe you.
Anyway, I still don't think these guys are going to be like, oh, hey, this guy is here to be our friend. I think they're going to treat him like an adversary, and then he's going to have to kill him, and then something like he doesn't want Mira to see the horrible things he has to do to their corpse to make sure they don't come back, right? Like, I feel like that could be what he's shielding her from, or shielding her from as well, is like, no matter what these people are, if I have to delete them, kill them, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
right? Like, I'm going to have to finalize it because I know what happens to dead bodies north of the wall.
Yeah, and now that you say that, it's interesting that he doesn't burn. I guess he doesn't like fire himself, so maybe he just doesn't want to fuck with fire. But it is weird that he doesn't burn them, right? Like, that's what they
Yeah.
do to prevent that. So, and he would know.
I mean, but he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to burn anything, though. We've
because he doesn't like
established
fire
that.
himself.
No,
yeah.
well, not even that. It's signal to everybody else as well. Hey, there's somebody over here.
Yeah, but if
Someone's
you're
on
just gonna
fire.
burn them and leave,
that's still putting them on your trail.
I guess
That's sending them to smokes. He won't let them burn something.
that's
to
what
stay
he's
warm
doing right now. He's like, why are we allowed to? Brand's like, why are we allowed to fire right now? And he's like, because we're about to fucking get out of here.
because it's inside.
And we're about to get out of here, is what he says.
It's daytime and we're inside. The smoke's gonna be contained. The light's contained. You think this fire that they built is huge? It's probably some tiny ass little fire.
It's enough to cook
Barely
meat.
making smoke. Barely filling the house with smoke.
I guess it's different than a burning a body, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Agreed. Okay.
So I think he just figures hack them up, move on, right? A head can't come back and do anything to you.
Yep. Give me your final thoughts on Cold Hands and Three-Eyed Crow.
I already gave him. I think that it's one and the same, right? It feels like it at least.
I was thinking about it because I was thinking the same thing when I was reading the chapter. I guess the one thing that says no or points against that is Cold Hands is getting news from, well, that's how that could work. From the
Ravens?
I was thinking
Yeah,
that, like,
I mean, children of the forest have to be friends with the ravens too.
Yeah,
and he's
but
a warg.
my point is that, to me, if you have some warg that's controlling Cold Hands, he would also be the one controlling they would be the one controlling the ravens as well, and you wouldn't need to have a crosstalk between the people that are like, you're the hive mind type, you know what I mean? You're the mothership, I'm warging into all these people. It doesn't seem like I'd be warging into Cold Hands and then warging into the ravens like as in like a chain. Again, it doesn't really matter.
If you did, you wouldn't need to communicate, would you?
That's my point. That's why I think it is a decent hint maybe that that Cold Hands isn't just being warged into. But I don't know.
Maybe he's just friends with the fucking ravens.
Because it seems like he's the one warging into the ravens. And if he's warging into the ravens, then why do they need to whisper to him?
How is he warging into 100 ravens?
I mean, Varamir was warging into like
But again,
3 of
if
his
you're
wolves at
warging
once.
into that, then you don't need to communicate with that thing.
Yeah, they could just be
That's
friends,
my point,
dude.
exactly, which points against him being the one warging into the ravens. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying anybody's warging into the ravens.
I don't think you get 100 ravens for showing up for... Well, I guess how do you get 100... To your point, how do you warg 100 things at once?
That's my point.
Because they're an unkindness. It's like a pack mentality.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say though is like maybe this Children of the Forest dude is friends with these ravens, and like he's got like some weird spiritual connection beyond what you understand because he's from the old times and has this crazy connection to the forest. He's a child of the forest. What, like, I mean, right? Like, why can't he communicate with the ravens and other stuff? So maybe they're just his friends.
I think it's very heavily implied in the chapter when he says, when Mir says, "Who sent you? Who is this three-eyed crow? A friend, a dreamer, a wizard. Call him what you will. The last green seer." The long hall's wooden door banged open. Outside, the night wind howled, bleak and black. The trees were full of ravens screaming. Cold Hands did not move. So literally, like, imagine you're Bran. Who is this person? A friend. Call him what you will. Bang, and then just like a ton of ravens or like. To me, like, there's a connection there between these ravens who are all like then like yours with this three-eyed crow guy, which is weird because like why not call him a three-eyed raven then? Like if he's got like a connection with ravens. Plus, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between a crow and a raven, so maybe Bran's just wrong. Maybe it is a raven he's seen in his dreams. Bran probably knows better than me though.
There's differences. All
right, any other points on this last part? I got a little excited, talked too long about it probably.
Later, nerds.
Way too long.
Jeff? Okay.
Shut the fuck up, Nelson.
We'll see you guys in the next one.
You didn't even get on your tangent yet. You had a B tangent.
Yeah, we have a question for Kyle. You go ahead, Jeff. You got it. I need a beer.
So it's a funeral. The guy's name is Beesbury.
Okay, yeah. I remember him.
I mean, you've read the thing. You've read
I remember him.
From the Trial of Seven. Beesbury dies. They have a little get together as his funeral. His coffin is in the banquet hall, and it's just swarmed by bees. And they're like, "Oh, it's some kind of magic. Like, how'd they get the bees who just stay there?" And the one person's like, "Well, dumbass, they put the queen in there. That's why they're chilling." But they're like so close to the
there's like kids playing next to it.
Like next to it, like just because the queen is in the hive doesn't make it a safe thing to be near.
You're not gonna just walk up to it.
Kinda actually. So
isn't the queen always in? The queen's always in the hive, and like a hive isn't always safe to walk up to.
No, but so like the swarm. I've sent you guys swarm stuff before for sure. So like when they swarm, what happens is the queen leaves, and all the other bees just kind of follow it.
Time out. Is swarm like some technical term that I don't know what it means? To me, bees are always swarming. They're always swarming.
No, they're not. The swarming is a phenomenon, I guess, right? So like. The way I talk about it is like cell dividing, right? So the hive is a cell. Like one extra bee does not make another bee, right? Like it doesn't make another hive. Does that make sense? Like humans, animals reproduce by having young offspring.
Okay.
But bees are a colony, so it needs to have another colony be born.
So when there's like too many bees, they're like, okay, half of you need to fucking go.
Yes, exactly. So like new queen is born, and then like some of the bees have to leave to follow that. So it's like cell dividing, like I said, right? Like it's like it splits in half.
Mitosis.
So, yeah. So I forget which queen it is. It's either the virgin or the new queen leaves or the old one. But anyway, so one of them leaves, and some of the bees go. And I've definitely sent you guys some of this stuff where like I capture them before. And so what you do is you get the queen, and like they don't have any
in a little queen box.
Well, not even in the queen box, like, but so like they don't have anything, so they're just trying to live and find a new place. So at that point, they will follow the queen like 100%. And so if you put the queen inside, there's like videos online of people like, "What the fuck do I do? My car is covered in bees," and it's like the queen is inside of the car, and there's just like a swarm of bees on the outside, just standing on the outside. So like they're pretty docile in that state.
They're just trying to get to the queen.
They're just trying to protect the queen because they don't really have any resources other than her at that point in time.
So you're basically saying if it's a fresh hive, they
if
would
it's
be
a swarm, they can be, yeah, for sure, docile and
if it's a
not-
queen, like because like if what. So I guess my point is once the queen's been in there for 6
Let me
months,
ask Kyle a question.
then you can't just walk up. When can you just not walk up to it anymore and like just be without like a
I
hood
mean,
on? Like even you, like
I
in the
think you can
videos,
still
like you're talking about, you said
typically
that, so you
walk
have
up
like
to-
a
I know
hood
because
on.
I'm a bitch and I don't want to get stung. Right?
This
Like,
is at a funeral with like children playing. I think
Yeah,
there's
but
children
these people-
underneath the. It's like on like sawhorses. There's kids like
let
underneath.
me ask
the thing.
Kyle. Let me ask Kyle the question now.
Go, Jeff. Sorry.
Kyle, it's your first summer cookout of the year. You got a fresh swarm that's just chilling with their queen. How close can I walk up with Squirt to like till you're like, hey, don't do that?
I mean, if it's like in a tree or something, you're probably fine. Honestly,
No, this is on the table. This is like the grill is 3 feet away. Where you're grilling is like 3 feet away from the swarm.
they might not like the heat. I don't. Yeah. So like, I know what you're saying.
You have
now.
this on
Yeah,
a picnic table, and you're bringing it to the barbecue as an attachment. Are you putting it in the middle? Like everything's around this? Are you putting it on the edge?
Is it the center? Is it the centerpiece of your kitchen table?
No.
I could probably just pull up a picture
No,
of
I
it if
would
I
not.
can see it.
Yeah, I wouldn't obviously do that, but I mean, like, there's definitely videos of people like, oh, here's the queen, and they just like grab it and then they hold the queen.
Yeah. Did somebody get stung at this funeral? I guess is my question.
Maybe.
Had to have.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I wouldn't.
You know what's pretty cool about that scene that I didn't realize, but from a still of Daron being there, is that there's a Kingsguard there too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's cool. Look at this thing. This kid's literally playing underneath it. This is the coffin with the bees on it.
I mean, could be okay, probably. I don't know that she's like punching it or anything, right? It's weird for sure.
They're playing ball next to it.
Dragon.
Yeah, yeah.
If you hit
somebody
that
was
thing with a
definitely under
ball, someone's getting
Yeah.
stung. Everyone's getting stung.
it. It's possible, yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, that's it. All right, we got your expertise. I don't know if it helped us much.
Possible. I would say possible. Plausible.
Plausible.
It's
Okay.
Mythbusters. Yeah, we'll give it a plausible.
Not crazy.
Yeah.
Cool. All
Later,
right, well,
nerds.
get out of here, Kyle. See you in the next one for what? Tyrion 2 for a second. Bye, Kyle.
Later, nerds.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Hey, bye, Kyle. Thanks for hanging out with us. See you on the next one for Tyrion 2.
Tyrion 2. Now in a spoiler section.
So I'm gonna come at it. I think you went too hard on the Children of the Forest thing,
It's not a Children of the Forest, though.
but they're there.
Yeah, but Bloodraven's not one.
Yeah,
You're the one that said Blood Hands, and then I kept wanting to say Blood Hands after you said that.
I mean, but that's not a spoiler.
It's not a spoiler,
That's
yeah.
just it's not
Slip
even
of the
a Freudian
tongue.
slip. That's just a fucking slip.
a little slip of the
He
tongue,
literally
yeah.
has blood in his hands. That's why they're black.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. It's true. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I thought you went too hard on the Children of the Forest being around. I'll say that. I think you went too hard on them like being involved. Like that's just a surprise that Kyle would have been like, "Oh shit, we're meeting the Children of the Forest."
I didn't plan on it, but when I went and I did it, I put Greenseer into a Search of Ice and Fire. Like there is like 12, and we only read the 2, the Jojin
Yeah.
one and the long.
I don't think we needed the
Lewin
second
one.
one. I
We
don't think
didn't-
we needed the second one.
The point of the second one was it was the one about that points that they're children, but every other quote we have except for the one Jojin points out when he says I'm not a Greenseer.
Yeah,
They're all referencing Children of the Forest. So
sure.
I think if you
just don't-
actually go through and just look, it's heavily pointing towards children.
yeah, but Kyle didn't know that.
But it's not.
It is
Bloodraven's not one.
Yeah, but they're still there, which is like you leaned in too much that like Leaf and Twig and them are going to be there, and that's something that Kyle had no clue about till now.
I guess to me, it's more of a question of why are we even calling Bloodraven a Greenseer? It seems like something you couldn't call a person. Like that's a Children of the Forest only thing. Is the way that these quotes leave on. Like that's
Yeah.
literally the name of what they call their wise men. Is what they say. Like when
Yeah, but there's like one of these every how long? 200 centuries?
that's
like-
I don't even think.
Maybe Bloodraven's the first that actually like tapped into these powers. Who knows? George doesn't even know.
That's true, but Yeah. So I think the green seer thing in general is interesting. Maybe I did point out too much Children of the Forest. I think it's just been
think
too
like
long.
there's not enough surprises left to like we still shouldn't take surprises away from Kyle.
I guess you're right. I didn't even think about the fact that he's not thinking that we're going to see any Children of the Forest, and I maybe spoiled that. That's what you're saying.
The big surprise will be that it's Bloodraven, sure.
I was thinking more that if he doesn't think that green seers are a Children of the Forest only thing, it won't be as surprising when we just find some powerful warg in the tree. It would be more surprising if he thinks that's going to be the last Children of the Forest, and then wait, why are there like 6 Children of the Forest? And then, oh, I guess we're just going to find the most powerful one is the three-eyed crow. And then no, that's not even. And then he's not even really sure he's the three-eyed crow. Like, I don't know, it's weird. Because like the three-eyed crow might be Bran, right? The whole thing is when he gets there, he's like, "Are you the three-eyed crow?" He's like, "Crow." People used to call me that, but that's because I was a Night's Watch. It's kind of what he says. It's not. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah. No. Look, I'll just say.
I guess to point to kind of on the topic, but not on the topic, and so it's clear I'm not cutting Jeff off. He said, "I'll just say," and then gave me a shrug. So there's no further comment there.
Yeah, I don't know what else. I don't know what else to say. I can't just keep repeating myself. I don't think you needed to lean that hard into the Children of the Forest because they will show up.
I think it's a fair criticism. I wasn't even thinking about it.
That's why I kind of stayed quiet during that time.
I guess let me ask you then: who is Bloodraven? What is his like? How is he connected? Or not? Who is Bloodraven? Who is Cold Hands, and how is he connected to Bloodraven?
I don't think Cold Hands. You guys started talking about him getting warged into. I definitely don't think that. I think Cold Hands was a ranger that was caught dying in the thick of it all up north, and somehow Bloodraven saved him. Did Bloodraven stab him with a dragon glass spear in the heart? And like, no, I don't think that. I think somehow the children saved him from turning full white, and that's probably showish. I don't know, but like, I think he's now just a vessel, a mercenary for Bloodraven.
I think that's pretty much the fan theory consensus. I think the general consensus is that it's probably one of the Raven's teeth, which is like Bloodraven's like group of archers that he had with him.
Oh, you don't think this is Benjen?
George has said it's not Benjen.
I don't believe him.
His editor wrote in the margins of like the editor copy when they were editing, I think it was Dance of Dragons, and like they pointed an arrow to Cold Hands, "Is this Benjen?" And George just replied, "No." I
don't believe him.
So that's why people think that's like just a hard cold no.
If it's not Benjen, I really don't give a fuck who it is.
I think if it's not Benjen, it's probably nobody. Nobody important. No named person that we're gonna know. It's gonna be a Ravens tooth.
Yeah, it's something. Then it's literally just a mercenary. It's just
kind of like what you said. Yeah, I think a Raven's tooth is a good idea. Like again, Bloodraven, when he was Hand the King, he had like a kind of like a personal guard of archers mainly. I think is what they were known for with weirwood bows. And I think we know that some of them went with him when he got sent to the wall. So I think the thought is one of them just. Yeah, basically what you said, died, and he somehow stopped it as it was happening type thing. But it's unclear. I think it's possible that he's being warged into. Again, I use the term warged there loosely because it seems like Varamir, a strong warg, does not have half a thought that he could warg dead things. But the other implication is it seems like something related to warging is what the others are doing with the whites. So whatever the others are doing with the whites, I think you could say Bloodraven might be powerful enough to be doing something similar with Cold Hands in terms of warging a dead body.
I do think the whites are warging the others, right? That's kind of the hive.
Other way around, but yes.
Whatever. But it's also kind of hive-mindy, right? Or like it's
exactly. And I think the whole the Ravens whispering to Cold Hands kind of dismisses that. Like if Bloodraven's the one warging into the Ravens, right? That's for sure. And again, I almost kind of said that like because. To me, that's just so obvious at this point that I almost just said it to Kyle, and I think maybe once or twice, but like, yeah. So if Bloodraven's warging into the Ravens, then if he's also warging into Cold Hands, there's no reason for the Ravens after. It seems like he's a separate entity, right?
I chimed in. I was like, I'm not gonna listen to this Cold Hands being a work, because then like you wouldn't need to communicate. Like, yes, you know what the other person saw.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. So I guess the other theory that people are kind of tossing around right now, just because. And we mentioned this, I think I mentioned this to you in one of the Night of the Seven Kingdoms ones, because the egg actor spoiled that Dunk potentially lives past Summerhall. And an old theory that Dunk is Cold Hands popped back up.
Gosh. Shut up.
I don't like this theory either. But again, the whole theory that if Dunk does survive Summerhall, he would go to the wall. I think that's.
He's always trying to get there.
I think that exactly. I think that would make sense. So I don't hate that, but I don't. It just doesn't seem like Cold Hands. Like nothing about Cold Hands, especially after reading this chapter, right? Knowing with that theory on the mind, there's nothing about Cold Hands that makes me think Dunk at all. Like he's gaunt and thin, is what they say. Not that you can't be tall and gaunt and thin, especially if you're Dunk and you're a dead body after a while. But I don't know. I don't think so. I'm not a Dunk as Cold Hands.
Too much Dunk shit. Dunk is not Brienne's grandfather. He's not blah blah blah. He's not nothing. He's just Dunk. Dunk the Lunk.
So the other thing that we always mention in these spoiler sections, Dawn mention. I think there's one.
Yeah, a couple of Dawn mentions.
Was there? I caught one, I think.
Maybe just that one where Dawn was approaching. That's why they could have the fire. I thought there was another one earlier, but it was like, didn't matter.
Yeah. You said no fire. He reminded the ranger. The walls around us hide the light. Dawn is close. We will be on our way soon. Again, the way I like to take these is always...
John is close.
Is always take Dawn as if we're talking about not the
but who?
sun coming up, but the sword. Exactly. So, yeah, Dawn is close.
It would be cool if Longclaw was like...
the walls around us, Dawn is close, like the wall.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's a little bit of a reach. Nothing jumps out to me on this one. Now I'm just reaching.
But even if Longclaw was the sword of the morning, right? That's the sword that's missing. If that's the sword and it's just disguised as a Longclaw because, I don't know, for whatever reason. But I'm sure Longclaw has history too.
Yeah.
Like Longclaw's been
I don't think that's possible just because we've heard that Dawn, which is what they call the sword of the morning, is milk glass. It's like not steel.
Yeah.
It's like
it's a different
white.
It's like a Lightbringer but white.
Yeah. Like we haven't seen it, but it seems different.
Yeah, no, it's hard. Especially when there's a Dawn every fucking chapter, right? Like Dawn's losing its lust on me a little bit.
Yeah, again, that's why I wanted to pull it out every time, right? Not only do the first few times I pulled it out, it seemed like it made sense if you replace the sword there. But then I pull it out every time, even if I don't think it makes sense. I try and point out even the times it doesn't make sense to give the anti-evidence.
Even sweet perks me. There was a sweet here.
There was a sweet. What was that one?
Something about Bran.
I had you read the quote in the chapter. Yeah, I forget.
Like sweet, like take a sweet dream, my prince. Something like, I think it was Nan telling him to go to sleep.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was the old Nan quote.
My baby boy and dream sweet dreams.
Yeah, sweet dreams. Yes. Sweet dreams.
So like every time we still read them, it still perks my interest. But like you drive yourself crazy thinking about them.
Yeah. Last spoiler I had, and I don't know if you're gonna know about this one.
I know about everything.
Stannis. Where's Stannis leave off at the end of all this? What's next for Stannis? I guess in Winds of Winter.
He's marching.
He's kind of set up shop at the Crofters Village,
and he's got Smelly Boy.
Theon.
Yeah.
Reek. And he has Asha too.
Asha, yeah.
And there's this lake with a frozen lake with I think there's a weirwood tree in the middle, and on the coast is like a tower that Stannis has been chilling in. But I think a lot of people have been out on this lake ice fishing because Stannis' army is starving bad.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of them have been ice fishing. And we know, I think also some of this might be from Winds of Winter sample chapter. So sorry if you haven't read those, that's part of the spoiler section. I think we learn at some point that the Boltons are sending the Freys and the Manderleys out. Like those two are kind of at each other's throats. So the Boltons are like, we can solve the problem inside the castle by getting rid of the two people who are fighting and send them both to fight the people who are about to attack us.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they send them.
Sounds about right.
The thought is, though, that the Manderleys are somehow going to probably join Stannis' side. And the other trick here is going to be because they have been ice fishing this lake, there's a ton of holes in it.
Yep.
And they're going to do something to make it seem like this island on the lake where the weirwood is the place that the Frey army needs to go. And then a lot of people think that the Frey is basically going to march a lot of their army onto this lake and somehow
fall through.
Stannis is going to trigger a collapse, or exactly they weakened it on purpose in addition to the fishing holes or something. And there was a quote in here that made me just think about that a lot when Bran and them were walking along the frozen lake.
Okay.
And the quote was, "The water was frozen, the snow had been falling for so long that Bran had lost count of the days, turning the lake into a vast white wilderness. Where the ice was flat and the ground was bumpy, the going was easy. But where the wind had pushed the snow into ridges, sometimes it was hard to tell where the lake ended and the shore began. even the trees were not as infallible as a guide as they might have hoped. There were wooded islands in the lake, in wide areas on the shore where no trees grew. This is kind of what Kyle pointed this out in the normal podcast, but I think this is potentially foreshadowing to the Stannis battle, where Stannis has this lake that potentially isn't even obvious when the Freys walk up that it's a lake. If there's snow on it, which there is, and there's an island in the middle that has trees on it, and I think the theory is Stannis plans on, well, Stannis has said they're going to kill Theon in front of this weirwood, which is out on the lake. But I think the theory is he might even plan on like doing something that makes it seem like the army is camped out on the other side of the lake, and it makes it look like it's not a lake, and the Freya army is just going to come across, and because of all these holes in it, they're going to, I don't know. So the fact that Bran is walking across a lake here, and he takes a whole paragraph to point out the fact that, hey, you can't really tell sometimes that we're even on a lake or when we are or when we're not because of the way the trees are growing and there's islands and stuff like that. So
yeah,
just jumped out to me like Stannis stuff. So we'll see.
Yeah. There was the one thing that just kind of like got me thinking, and it's probably not going to matter because he dies. I don't know when Jojen's going to die, right? But Jojen's dying soon.
We actually haven't seen no confirmation that Jojen is dead yet.
But
Bran has been eating like red weirwood paste that most people think has Jojen in it. People call it Jojen paste.
Yeah. But just him not dreaming anymore, like north of the wall, like he's crossed the wall. I couldn't find the quote, but do you recall?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's just like, all right, like now that he's north, like he doesn't have his dreams anymore. Like it's kind of twofold. Did his magic not cross? Is his magic just what Bloodraven was sending him? So like now he doesn't really, because they've met up with Cold Hands, there's no real point to Jojen having dreams anymore, because
that's what I think. But I think the first point that you said is equally like that. Somehow like Jojen's magic came from the neck and like his area of the world, and now that the wall is a magical barrier, so yeah, now that they're past it, that's I didn't think about that. That's just the
one thing that like perked my mind.
Yeah, I thought it more the other one that Bloodraven was sending visions to somebody that he knew would get Bran where he needs to go, and now that he's got Cold Hands, like basically just taking him exactly there. We don't need Jojen cryptic visions anymore. But yeah, it's a good thought either way.
I might have had one more. Let me just look through my notes.
I guess you made me kind of think about it. The other thing that people think about here is, we talked about it, Bran eating people. I think he's definitely eating people. I think for some reason, eating people helps unlock magical abilities. We know that people used to make human sacrifices to the weirwood trees. There's a time when Arya, we've already actually seen it, when Arya was in Bravos with the Faceless Men, when at one point she was like, she questions what they're eating. Mm-hmm. She's like, we took the clothes off them. It might be something like this. We took the clothes off the dead people. We took the rings off them. We took the money off them. We took everything off them. And then most of the time we would eat fish at dinner, but every once in a while we'd get pork. And one time she like looked up at the kindly man and was like, is this pork? And he's like, aha, yeah, of course it's just pork. Or so, again, it might not be as
Yep, I remember.
But there's like a question drawn to, what the fuck are we eating here?
Is pork, and I think we've even talked about that, like you Googled
I think I mentioned it to you, and I said Bran will eat people, and probably alluding to this moment. And I'm like, and to me, it seems like, well, maybe the Kindly Man or the House Undying and Cold Hands with Bloodraven behind it are both on purpose doing this because they know it unlocks. That also leads into why are we feeding Jojen to Bran later? And people think there's something in that, and maybe it's maybe that's more Jojen's blood Jojen had some gift to it. Yeah, so maybe
there's something in his blood.
That might be different than just like eating any random person, but people think there might be something to this people eating because the two magical people who seem to be
are eating quote unquote pork.
Well, and in the hands of people who are Cold Hands, not as obviously, but Arya clearly is being trained up in some magical way. Cold Hands is taking Bran to somebody who's going to train him up in some magical way. So you can see how he might be doing it earlier.
What about Melisandre? She's not eating shit.
Does she eat people? She doesn't eat it. She's kind of like Cold Hands.
I don't
she doesn't
think she
eat
eats anything.
Yeah, she's like Cold Hands.
And then what's our guy at Old Town? He's just drinking beer.
Marwyn, he's drinking the ciders. Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah.
Cool. See you guys in the next one for Tyrion 2.
Bye.
Bye-bye.